Politicians on both sides of the aisle are reacting to the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, with Democrats hoping the issue will be a political lifeline ahead of the midterms. DailyMailTV chief political correspondent David Martosko joins us now. David, let's get your thoughts on that. A lot of Democrats think that the Supreme Court and its decision are going to, as I said, extend them a lifeline in November, which had been looking pretty bleak for them. What do you think?
I think Daines is absolutely right. This really is going to be a nothing burger for the elections in November. Not only are people more concerned about, putting $100 in their gas tank every week than they are about this particular issue, the people in America who are most concerned about abortion are the younger voters who vote the least. And if Democrats hope to avoid a complete disaster in November, here's what they have to do. They have to win vulnerable Republican seats in states that Joe Biden won. We're talking about places like California, New Mexico, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan. Those are not the states where the abortion laws are changing. So it's going to be very hard to mobilize women in
of any kind, no matter how far into a pregnancy it goes.
That's true. And also it's very hard in like California and Arizona for Democrats to win congressional elections without severely large number of voters from the Hispanic cohort coming in. And Hispanic voters are, more than the rest of the country, pro-life. There's a lot of Roman Catholics in that community, and so they're not going to help this time. That's going to make it a lot harder for Democrats.
You have said that the question is whether Democratic voters love abortion as much as they hated Donald Trump. What do you mean by that?
Oh, I just mean that if you look at Democrats wanting to reproduce their latest success, it was in, obviously, 2020, that was an election where Donald Trump was on the ballot. And, of course, midterm elections are referenda on the sitting president, but the last one was a referendum on how much do you hate Donald Trump. That's why Joe Biden was put into office. And so if they're going to reproduce that kind of success, they have to get people to want to defend abortion with the same energy and the same intensity as they wanted to throw Donald Trump into retirement. I don't see that happening right now, especially because the economy is going to be paramount to most people, and also because there's several months between now and then. If we were talking in, say, the third week of October, I'd say the Democrats have a reasonable chance of maybe turning 5 to 10 House seats because of this issue. It still will never be enough, and it's certainly not going to be enough given all the time that's going to pass between now and Election Day.
I think if you listen to some of the people who are protesting against what the Supreme Court decided, especially in the bigger cities, the more left-leaning states in this country, they don't have a good handle really on what it is that the Supreme Court has said. Would you agree?
Well, that's true. I think there's this binary idea that Roe v. Wade was a light switch, abortion on, off. It doesn't work that way. Of course, all the Supreme Court did was said that individual states can set their own rules. It's a bit of federalism. And by the way, you're going to see abortion tourism now. And that's an interesting wrinkle of federalism. It's going to be like Reno was 70 years ago with no-fault divorces after a short residency period. You don't like the divorce laws in California, go to Reno and get one. You don't like the abortion law in Texas, Planned Parenthood, I predict, if they're smart, they're going to set up abortion clinics just on the New Mexico side of that border for Texans and for Oklahomans, for women who want abortion. They're going to pay for transportation. We're already seeing private companies saying they'll pay for transportation for their female employees who want abortions. So not a lot's going to change. Here's the main change that's going to happen. I'll issue a prediction right now. 2 years from now, if we look back, the big thing that's going to change, nobody is going to change the demand for abortions, right? Women and men are going to keep having sex and initiating pregnancies. But here's what's going to change. You're going to change the balance of abortions between those that are performed hands-on in a clinic and those that happen via a pharmaceutical pill. You're going to see the pills are already more than half of the abortions that happen in the United States. That proportion is going to get larger and larger and larger. But I guess if you're part of the religious bloc of voters who have pushed to repeal Roe v. Wade, the issue may have passed you by. I think it's not possible to change the number of abortions in the United States. It's only possible to change where they happen, how they happen. And guess what's coming next? Over the counter, maybe 5 or 6 years from now, the abortion pill, you can already get it in Mexico. Anybody can walk into any pharmacy and buy it without a prescription.
David Martosko. David, thank you.